So it's Jalen Harris who's here.
Time for games.
I should make sure to switch the damn.
You shouldn't be very friendly with Jalen Harris. I know you're not. I don't know if you're popping in the Discord. He's silently planning your demise.
Yeah, he wants to be the new co-host.
Yeah, he wants to replace you.
Oh, good fucking luck.
So I've played this beginning section of Bayonetta, and that's it. And even for like me, Devil May Cry Season Boy, I was like, there's a lot of fucking shit going on right now.
Yeah, this game is off the fucking rails with combos. Basically every combination of buttons and directional inputs possible does something different. If I were to make an analysis video about the combat, that would be all I would say, because there's no way I could go into more depth.
The fucking George Lucas prequel is fucking shit.
Oh yeah, it's fucking... Well, the design ethos of this game was, quote, non-stop climax.
Yeah.
And it gets, like... By the time you get to the final boss, it's like... It goes... It's like the, you know, Gurren Lagann ethos of, like, we must boldly go where no game has gone before, you know?
I'm about that life.
I still have like 0 viewers except for Jalen Harris, so I'm gonna go advertise this stream.
So, it's all coming back to me.
Like a boomerang.
The funniest thing about this section to me is that there's like, this is the story, and I can't hear any of it.
No, it doesn't fucking matter.
I feel like that must have been intentional.
I think so too. This game definitely has like a heavy postmodern element to it.
I don't know. Jordan Peterson tells me that postmodernism is bad, so I don't know if I like
Jordan Peterson can suck my dick. That dude is old as fuck. That dude's a boomer. He's got like gray hair, doesn't he?
Jordan Peterson?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like a tenured professor.
Yeah, that's a fucking gray beard right there, dude. You don't listen to no fucking gray beards.
Dude, when would we become the gray beards?
I unironically have a strand of gray in my beard already.
I should listen to like you maybe half the time at most.
I'm in a flow state, dude, listening to this fucking Bayo.
My big question with this game is that, like,
Right,
I'm wondering
advertised this on Twitch
if it's possible to take the DMC formula too far. That's what I've been wondering about this game.
Well, you're gonna learn. I mean, the thing is, this game's like 8.5, 9 hours long.
Really?
Yeah. So you know, it's about the size of like DMC3, but you can play it for like a lot more than that. Like, there's a lot of secret bonus shit. There's lots of like challenge rooms and shit like that, you know. So it's the kind of thing where if you're trying to go for 100% and you're trying to beat it on all the higher difficulties, like, it's gonna be a fucking time. And the game definitely has like weird segments in it where it's like, you know, because it's an 8.5 hour linear action game, there's gonna be parts where you fucking do like a space shooting segment for 15 minutes because you gotta change it up every once in a while. Right. Oh, you're gonna skip the cinematics?
They're not even cinematics, they're just like pictures.
No, not all of them. Some of them are cutscenes.
Most of them.
But yeah, a lot of them are weird comic book things. There's like a lot of story in this game, and it is completely incomprehensible.
I would expect nothing less. This one's not a comic, so we can watch this.
This is the one that has like a fucking 15-minute action scene in it, I think. This is like the DMC3.
This one when Danny DeVito shows up.
Yeah.
Team Little Angels. I'm gonna hope that's a nod to Devil May Cry, the original made by Team Little Devils.
By the way, everybody, you're watching I Am Games, the least on-brand stream on Twitch.tv. Neither one of us has our branding because, frankly, Tom thought it was Wednesday.
Yeah.
And I came upstairs 5 minutes before the show with May, who I think led me by the hand upstairs. And then I came up and I said, "What the fuck are we doing upstairs?" And she went, "Your thing is in 5 minutes." And I was like, "All right." Eggman the Destroyer.
Dr. Robotnik makes a cameo in this game.
The dialogue is like nonsense in this game.
Some weird shit. What's going on in the chat?
I'm eyeballing it. Is this the Switch version? Yes.
Indeed
Which
it
is because the fucking this game was originally for the 360.
Yep.
Then Sega ported it to the PS3 and did a terrible job. Really bad load times all over the place and frame rate slowdowns.
Why I haven't played it, because
that was why I hadn't played it for a long time. But then Nintendo picked up the license and made Bayonetta 2 and included Bayonetta 1 with it, which is how I finally played it on the Wii U. And it, you know, that was obviously the optimal version of the game because it was a next-gen console by that point. Regardless of the fact that the Wii U is, you know, not a very next-gen console, it nonetheless was a next-gen console by comparison to the Xbox 360. That's weird to think. It's weird that it wasn't in that generation, because it feels like it should have been competing with that generation.
Well, it's the same thing with the Wii. The Wii, I mean, the Wii literally was just a GameCube.
Right. I think Nintendo just thought that they wouldn't have to move that point beyond that point graphically, because they thought that like normies wouldn't care about like hyper technical graphics. And the reality is that because normies got into shooter games and shit, and like a generation who grew up with games and did take the graphical evolution seriously was like really gonna gravitate towards those hardcore consoles, it was like that crowd just did not take Nintendo seriously at all when they couldn't compete graphically, you know?
Yeah.
Until they put like borderline cutting edge graphics onto a portable console, and now everybody wants to suck their dick, you know? DMC3 is longer than Bayonetta without weird platinum segments. Well, you know, they're there. Tom, go in the menus and read about dodge offset.
Dodge offset?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, DMC3 was a perfect revolutionary masterpiece, so expecting the same out of any other game is kind of wishful thinking. The echo is obnoxious with Enzo talking. Bayonetta looks way better in the sequel, I agree. I haven't played the sequel yet, though.
Maybe we will.
So is the story important, or can I go right into 2? The story is, like, literally incomprehensible. Like, I mean, you can get... You will understand the broad strokes of what's going on, but, like, when you watch these long dialogue scenes, it's like the details of the plot and just the way that the people talk is just, like, fucking baffling. And then there's just like long ass action scenes that you get to watch. Because this is just how Hideki Kamiya does his games, I guess. That's who this is, right?
Yeah. I remember thinking this guy was pretty dope.
So, yeah, oh yeah, I love this guy. Well, I think fell on his head. This guy was kind of the basis for a character in my my light novel series that I was doing back in 2010. The NaNoWriMo novel I did. He's a character who's named Jackhammer Jim, who just like is this guy.
I mean, if you're gonna rip somebody off, it's a good choice.
Yeah. Oh. Yes. Excellent.
I question the physics on it, but it's fine. I'm about it. I'm about physics that makes no sense.
Oh. Yes, her clothes are her hair.
Yep.
It's really weird. I think that this might have contributed to Bayonetta's success. The fact that her character design is really weird, and like she's obviously meant to be sexual, but because she's so like weirdly specific in whatever fetish she's supposed to be, it's like you don't immediately find it sexy. It feels more like she's doing some kind of bizarre performance art or something. Does what I'm saying make sense to you?
No, I totally get it. Like, I'm looking at this, and it's like, yeah, this is clearly, like, almost objectifying in a way, but
right.
It's, like, so far beyond norminess that I'm just like,
because
I'm kind of just looking at it.
It doesn't do anything for you. Like, I mean, it does something for you on a conceptual level.
Yeah, you're just kind of contemplating what's happening as opposed to, like, being titillated.
Yeah, and I've always felt that way, and everyone I've talked to has always felt that way about these games, and I think that's deliberate. It's because they wanted it to be, like, to tread a weird line. Like,
yeah.
Like, she's doing a strip dance on a pole, and, like, her power is that she uses her hair to fight with, so when she uses a big attack, more of her clothes are taken off of her body.
Yeah.
And when you hear that and you picture that, you're like, wow, that sounds insanely hot. But then you look at it happening in the game, and Bayonetta is like a weird dominatrix. Like, first of all, she looks like an older woman, like a teacher or something, and she actually is like, I don't know, hundreds of years old or some shit like that.
Right.
So, like, she's an ancient witch or something.
She's like Voldo.
Yeah. So she is like Valda, where it's like it's like clearly sexual, but almost in his case it's more creepy than sexual, and in her case it's like she's putting on some kind of bizarre performance where she's trying to just like shove her sexuality in your face while she kills you. Like, it's a weird dominatrix kind of thing.
Touch controls. Never.
I'm sure there's some people who are like super into it, but like it's kind of a really weird fetish. She has the longest legs in history of man. And the way her head is. No, I mean, I guess in the second game they just went ahead and made her hot by giving her short hair. But I haven't played that one, and I don't really know how it treats her poses and everything by comparison.
I like how they actually have touchscreen control options in this game. Why in God's name would I ever want to use a fucking touchscreen?
People in the chat seem to resonate with my analysis of Bayonetta, so I'm really glad.
I think it's just like, if you're not into femdom, she's not going to do much for you.
Yeah.
Failed Bewitch time. I guess the timer has nothing to do with the actual move.
People are saying that, like, they cannot believe that they would have added this, and there's no way anyone would use this. I don't know. I could definitely see people trying to... Like, if there's any way that doing the touch controls could make you better at the game, someone will master it. Even if it's, like, really weird and uncomfortable, if it's possible to do it slightly faster than pressing buttons, or, like, to make a combo flow more easily.
It's gonna be like one of those, like, masochistic people who are like, haha, I did it with the DDR pads. Like, I beat Bayonetta
Right.
on the hardest difficulty with the touchscreen. You know?
Exactly. But like, there's two different crowds of people, because like, I think of someone like my friend Donson, who will beat these games on the highest possible difficulty. Like, he would probably play with he would probably do one playthrough of the game with a relatively uncomfortable like control scheme if it meant that he could do a more perfect run, but then never use that control scheme again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas there are probably some people who would do it every time just to be the best that they possibly could be if it was like that. But if it doesn't make you marginally better, then there's a different crowd who will try to do like one-time challenge runs of I did it with the thing that makes me shitter, you know? But like that's the only context where it will be used more than once, you know? If it's just not as good. Bayonetta era graphics are probably my favorite era of 3D. After this, only Dragon Age Inquisition is really pretty graphics for me. I mean, this is like... What? This isn't like far below modern games, right?
I don't think so. Good.
Are you guys ever gonna play some of the new Smash games on a live stream? We did do a Smash live stream, like an impromptu one on Saturday. You can go watch it by going to the playlist tab on the I Am Games channel, which you can find by going to imgames.fun in your browser. What do you guys think of Shonen Jump making their whole back catalog available for $2? That's pretty fucking lit.
I think it's a good idea.
That's a great fucking idea. It's basically like if Kiss Anime just had like a one-time donation of $2 that you paid when you go to the site, and then you just watched all of anime history, and then like if you wanted to watch current stuff, you had to pay a subscription fee, $2 a month. Yeah, but it's like an all-you-can-eat buffet, you know. It's like if you pay $2 and you can read it all in a month, then you're gold, you know.
Yeah, only if you care about shit. Like...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you want to get into shonen, it's a perfect business model for like, you pay $2 up front, read as much as you want, you know, and so you read as much as you want. And if you find yourself invested in the back catalog of stuff that's currently running, then you would pay for a subscription so that you could read the stuff as it continues. But if you found yourself just wanting to be able to spend more time reading old manga, then you could just pay the subscription, the $2 subscription again to continue reading old manga. This is how I assume it works. It's like a two-tiered system of subscription. And if that is the case, it's genius. Or if it's just $2 and you get like new stuff on top of old stuff, then that's just fucking really a good deal. Oh, really?
You can go to there and see the past 3 chapters of every manga that's currently being...
Oh, so you're only paying for the backlog. Well, and that's fucking insanely good idea. Like, yeah, $2 a month and you get like all of shonen manga history. Assuming they have everything that, like, I don't know if it's just... Like, I don't know how big the back catalog is. I don't know if they added stuff that's not previously released in America.
No,
or
I
like...
think they're only releasing what will be released in America. I doubt they would go back and like do Ginga Nagraboshi King.
I mean, I'd be willing to pay $2 to get to read like all of Dragon Ball, all of One Piece. I mean, those two alone would be worth it. Like, you know, if it's like the best possible translation, especially if they include all the bonus pages that are in the volumes. Like, I don't know what version of it they do, because like if you buy, this is the reason I haven't bought all of One Piece, because I wanted to just buy the entire thing at some point, spend like $200-300 just buying it all, and then read through the whole fucking thing. But if you buy it as individual volumes, you get all these bonus pages. But if you buy the like 3 volumes in one, they don't include those. And so like on the one hand, the 3 volumes in one is a way better deal, but on the other hand, those bonus pages are really great and they're integral to the way that like the hardcore fans understand the series. So it would suck to lose out on them. So if the version that they're putting online has those pages, then it would be like, oh, well, this is no longer a matter of question. Though, granted, I still would prefer to read it physically. But, you know.
The silver map.
Rodan should be paying me for even touching these toys.
Do you have any idea how much this is gonna cost to fix?
Bayonetta is basically Shadow the Hedgehog's hot mom.
Okay.
Engine still purrs nicely. Now, about this little thing you've been looking into for me, Enzo. Let's have a quick chat.
See, this is why I told you I was going home. I just got held up in the air by some invisible thing, and you want an intelligence briefing? It never stops with you.
Alright. I'm caught up on the chat, but there's nothing I wanted to read.
Eggman. I just imagine the main villain right now is Dr. Robotnik. This is Sega. It is possible.
Wait, Rodan.
So Tom,
What up?
let us discuss I Am Games.
Sure. Let us discuss.
So we have a YouTube channel. I made a video about Tales of Fantasia. It took a long time to finish, and as a result, I wasn't really working on any weekly games, with the exception of the Pokemon Let's Go video that I threw together in the middle of that. And when we do the live streams, it's hard for us to get far enough in a game to actually do a video about it. Plus, we end up playing a lot of games that we don't end up wanting to do videos about. Or just random stuff like Bayonetta or something, you know. Not to say that we couldn't potentially find something to say about this game. But as a streaming venture, it's like a modest success. But we need to bring more viewers to the stream.
Right.
And the only way I can think of to bring more viewers to the stream is to bring more viewers to the YouTube channel. Because it's a more forward-facing... Well,
forever.
do you want to try to play Fortnite?
I think I'd rather kill myself.
Anybody to watch you.
Well,
There's so many people who stream this game.
We just have to copy what Nate was doing. Just play Smash against people.
Nate's idea seemed like it would be hard to do for Log.
Well, money's never easy.
That's true. That sounds like a fate worse than death. So, if we're gonna grow the YouTube channel, because it's the only method that we can think of that doesn't invoke suicidal thoughts, you know, I had this idea to make the Tales of, and I'm gonna do that. I'm excited about that project. But it needs to get a lot... It needs itself for the channel to be bigger for its sake.
Sure.
Because there are Tales of games that are very famous that a lot of people would click on a video about. And I'm faithful that even the Fantasia video will get a lot of views over time. I think that it will continue to grow, but it hasn't... There's no way for it to reach everybody who would possibly be interested in it when there's not enough... It hasn't had enough time to permeate through the world to find the incredibly small but bigger than the number that it currently has niche of people who would care about this video. You know, it needs time to spread. I'm trying to think of that word for when liquid is getting soaked into something. Soak, I guess. Permeate. Absorb. So anyway, the thing about doing that series though is that the next few games are also not popular. Like, it takes a while before you get to the ones that people really care about and really want to hear someone do a retrospective on.
Why not start with those ones? Who says they have to be in order?
Well, I like it in order.
Well, nobody else does.
Because if you don't do it in order, then you have to play all the shitty ones at the end. Or the ones that are unpopular, and then there's diminishing returns in the interest.
If the goal, as you just laid out, is to make the channel bigger for the series' sake, why not start with the popular ones, get people on board, and be like, oh, there's way more to this series than you think. And then you can start looking through the other stuff and be like, yeah, you like Symphonia? This is the heritage of this game. That was your childhood.
That's fair. That's a fair way to think of it. I guess that to me, the romanticism of the series is in the idea that it would go through in order one by one and be like, yeah, we covered the whole fucking thing. We traced its evolution, like, you know, from start to finish. Well, like, if you start jumping around the series, then it convolutes the narrative of the evolution of the series.
And you should do videos on the popular ones that aren't part of the Tales of series to get people interested in the Tales of series.
That's also a really good idea, and that one could be done, but it would still require me to play through those long-ass games, you know, and roll the dice on one video being, you know, like a smaller video even being attention-grabbing.
Obviously.
No is a strong word for a game I played when I was 14.
Well, instead of playing it, you could have a Let's Play on or something as you're doing other things to just kind of refresh yourself with it.
Yeah.
And make something out of that.
That's possible. Anyway, none of that has anything to do with what I actually plan to do.
Okay. Well, never mind everything I just said.
So, yeah, the Tales of series, whatever. However, better idea that doesn't take as long, because the Tales of series is in no hurry. As I said, it can permeate. It has time to just sit and soak and have people find out about it, so that I don't rush into making another episode for the same size of audience. Because, you know, I even advertised it on my main channel and it didn't even like 15,000 views yet. It obviously will, because it continues to gain views, but, like, it's not moving that fast. So, that means it's not reliable enough as, like, something to put that much immediate focus on. But I like having it in the wings, because there's no rush to finish a Tales of retrospective. The games are still coming out, and, you know, it would be even more timely to be doing this in 2 or 3 months when Tales of Vesperia has its remake that's going to be on the Switch and I think PS4. And that's like one of the popular ones, so I'd definitely talk about that remake as soon as it came out. Anyways, on the other side, there is a certain type of game that I like a whole lot, that I have a lot of experience with and knowledge about, that tends to clock in at under 10 hours a game, and it is the genre of GameCube games.
Ah, yeah. That genre.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm thinking of making a series called
GameCube Chats.
Called GameCube Forever.
Okay.
And it will start off with me saying, or you saying, because you might have to voice these. It'll start off with the phrase,
I am GameCube.
I am
forever.
That's good as well. I'll say that at the end. It starts off with me saying, I am Games, and I hereby solemnly swear to review every Nintendo GameCube game over the next 35 years.
Okay.
And that's what I'm going to say at the start of each video. And then I'll just review GameCube games whenever I feel like it. At whatever rate I can play through GameCube games.
Okay.
So I've almost beat Luigi's Mansion, which is the first GameCube game.
Alright.
I've been playing it all day. And I'm gonna do a review of Luigi's Mansion. And then,
Are you gonna play them in, like, release order? So you just start with the launch window and just go? Because Luigi's Mansion was a launch game.
Yeah, I did that on purpose. I've mapped out when the game... So here's... If this goes well, if people are into the GameCube shit, and I decide I want to release them as frequently as possible, because GameCube games are really short. Pretty easy to, like...
I mean, they're not all short.
Not when you get later into the release library, but, like, none of the RPGs were within the first, like, year of the GameCube. They came later, and they didn't have a lot. It didn't have a lot of long games because the discs were fucking tiny.
How long was Evolutions? That was, like, a port of a Dreamcast game, right?
You mean Evolution Worlds?
Yeah, that one.
Even that's, like, short for an RPG. It's, like, 22 hours. Skies of Arcadia is probably the longest one.
I was gonna say, Skies of Arcadia is meaty.
That's, like, one of the longer games on the GameCube. Animal Crossing is also a fucking, like, long game if you want to, like, really get into the meat of it. But that's because they do a lot with a little, you know?
Right.
But yeah, like, most of the games are pretty short. So it's pretty easy to just blast through a GameCube game, and they're, like, just complex enough that there's, like, kind of interesting things to say about them, because Nintendo was really pushing innovation in game mechanics at the time as, like, the forefront of what they wanted from their games. So most GameCube games are pretty interesting and good. It has a really well cultivated library. So I was going through the like list of GameCube games on Wikipedia. And if you just cut out all the sports games, which come out incessantly, like 4 or 5 sports games come out every month and are like the bulk of what comes out on any given console. But like, if you just cut out all the sports games, the GameCube library is like shockingly consistent. There's tons of good stuff that came out, tons of good first party stuff, tons of good fucking, you know, 3 console stuff. So yeah, it's a fucking rock solid library, and moreover, if I break it into seasons, like literally the seasons when the game came out, there's like an amount that would correspond to, for at least a few seasons, if I put out a video every week, I could do a season of me reviewing GameCube games that would basically occur at the same rate as how the games were originally released.
Sure.
So it would be like, you know, everything from Luigi's Mansion through Sonic Adventure 2 Battle would be Season 1 with 14 episodes, reviewing 14 games over 14 weeks, and it would be like you're reliving the GameCube's existence via game reviews.
Right. What's the chat think about this?
I have no idea. I haven't been looking at it. Okay, let me scroll up.
Angel Attack. How to play Angel Attack. Aim and fire at the angel targets. I'm sure this is a threading shooting game.
As a GameCube boy, please do the thing I'm too scared to do. Thank you, Digi. Do I Am Games vids take longer to make than main channel vids? The short answer is no, because they take no time at all to make. However, that is not including the time it takes to play the game, and games are significantly longer than anime the vast majority of the time. But because of the fact that I just write my scripts for the most part on the main channel and then give them to Devu, like, if I just watch a show, belt out a script, and send it to Devu, then, like, that will take a lot less time than playing through a whole game, writing a script, and editing the video myself. So, it kind of depends on how you think of the time, because my time can be divided between me and Devu when it's not for this channel. So, yes and no.
So, I asked around, and some whale in Europe is
Digi, if you don't actually play all GameCube games, you will lose all the respect that I don't have for you. Well,
I feel like all GameCube games is a tall order. That's like thousands of hours of time.
There are 657 GameCube games.
passed us around the halls of power for hundreds of years.
But most of them can be beaten in one day. So that's like 2 years of beating a game a day. And I said I have 35 years to accomplish this goal. Plus, nobody's going to ask me to beat all the sports games. I'll just play the sports games that people tell me are good.
I'm going to hold you to play every sports game. You said
Well,
every one.
It might take all 35 years at
Madden,
that rate.
NFL 2000. Madden, NFL 2001. Madden, NFL
Yeah,
2002.
I mean, I'm not promising I'm going to
It's
play
a
every
game.
game from start to finish before I review it, you know?
Oh, okay.
Before the trail gets cold, off to the middle of
What you should do, this is what you should do, for Madden, or just for all the sports games, you should review the first playthrough and make a video for the first one. And every time you refer to the game, you have to say Madden 2000. And then the next video, just have it be the exact same video, except very obviously dub Madden 2001 every time you say Madden 2000.
Oh, yeah, it's just the same
it's
video.
the same game.
That's hilarious. This guy just made me even more hopeful that this is possible. He says, so Wikipedia lists 658 GameCube games. If you want to review all of them in 35 years, you've got about 20 days for each one. Like I said, the games take like a day to beat, with the exception of the RPG. Someone reminded me of Bots and Kaitos, and of course Tales of Symphonia are both like 50-hour RPGs, but...
Sort of play them on Dolphin at 3x speed.
But I want to play those games anyways, because they're really good. Like, all the GameCube RPGs are fucking rock solid.
Whoa, Legend of Zelda.
Parsara says, I know what's up. Digi just wants to play PSO 1 and 2. You are not wrong. That game is long as shit, too. But, Digi, are you counting re-releases? Absolutely. But probably not, like, Pac-Man Collection or some shit like that. GameCube has the best version of Mortal Kombat Deception, so do it, Digi. GameCube was like the console for if you have a multi-plat game or right? Like I would always go GameCube over PS2 for sure.
I mean, Xbox had objectively the best ports because it was the most powerful.
Yeah, but it didn't get a lot of the stuff that the other two got.
Yeah, it did.
Did it?
Yeah.
Well, never mind then.
Did you just because you had a GameCube doesn't mean it was the best, Jack.
Well, it did have the best graphics.
Xbox had way better graphics than GameCube.
But it didn't like they didn't have any games that looked as good as the best looking GameCube games.
GameCube had the best art direction.
Yeah.
Xbox had the best graphics.
But it went from being like the Xbox
I hate this part.
/ GameCube to being the PS4 or the PS3 rather. And the next gen after that, it was like always get the PS3 version, never get the 360 version. Except for Bayonetta.
What?
Because of how bad they fucked the port.
Traditionally, it had better ports.
Really?
Yeah, 360, even though it was weaker, the hardware was much easier to code for.
Right.
So, like...
Maybe they had better PC ports.
No, like 360 in general performed better almost universally.
That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah. The only times, like, the whole thing with this, because, like, they made their own proprietary architecture for the PS3 called the Cell. And it was super powerful, but it was, like, so fucking weird to dev for that unless you were, like, Naughty Dog and were a first-party, like, developer, essentially, like, you could never really get the Cell to work very well. That's why, like, you know, Uncharted and, like, The Last of Us look fucking insane, because, like, Naughty Dog did nothing but, like, suck PS3's dick for 5 years, but, like, Multiplat's way easier code for on 360. They usually ran better.
That's fucking bizarre.
Well,
We would always get the PS3 version of everything, just because we were like, oh, it's the more powerful console, so...
Yeah.
And like 360 games tended to have frame rate drops.
360 also had double the RAM of PS3.
It's wild. What a weird console generation.
Where am I going? What am I doing? Why am I here? This is stupid. I'm just in a building.
The only way to beat Smash is to win Evo. Well, that'll take a while.
You got 35 years. I'm just breaking stuff now.
Digi literally went trick-or-treating dressed as a GameCube. I'm glad that somebody else... Like, I also raised this... So I had to make an argument, basically, to May for the value of this GameCube series. Because when I told her about it, I was just like, I'm going to review all the GameCube games. And she was like, please don't start another series that you can't finish. And I was like, no, you don't understand. I grew up as a GameCube. There's evidence. There's video, pictorial evidence of me having literally been a GameCube at one point in my life. Do you know about this, Tom?
No, but it doesn't surprise me in the slightest.
1 year for Halloween, when I was like 12, Victor was gonna go as Shadow the Hedgehog, and my mom built him this fucking big ass shadow head out of mattress foam.
Whoa.
Like, we had taken an old mattress and carved out a shadow head, and so he was Shadow the Hedgehog, and then Shade was a Chow, and he was wearing like a cardboard Chow mask, a dark Chow. But, like, I didn't want to be, like, Eggman or anything, and, like, I didn't really care as much about Sonic specifically as they did at the time. And, like, I was just like, I don't really know what I want to be, but right now what I'm most hype about is GameCube games, because this was when, like, Metroid Prime was coming out, and, like, fucking, just, like, the GameCube was extra hype. So, I fucking just went as a GameCube. We made a giant cardboard box, and the lid was, like, on my head, and I was a GameCube. So, that's the level of passion I have for this console. And I've also played, like, more GameCube games than any other type of game. Like, when I made my list of all the games I had played, I had, like, overwhelmingly played more GameCube games. Because we would rent games all the time back then. So, like, even aside from the fact that I own the most of those games... like, we rented the ones I didn't own. And there's a lot of good ones. And they're all really mercifully short. The three launch titles for the console were Luigi's Mansion, Super Monkey Ball, and Wave Race Blue Storm. So, like, if you bought all three of those, you were probably done with your GameCube in about a week, you know?
I thought... Melee was a launch title.
It was not actually a launch title.
Sure.
Neither was Pikmin. I had thought... Because I got the GameCube for Christmas that year, and we got Melee and Pikmin, so I had just thought of them as launch titles, but neither one was. There was only 3 launch titles, but the other stuff started coming out, like, very soon afterwards. Like, Pikmin came, like, a week or 2 later. Oh shit, Spicy Salts remembered this fucking line I did in this freestyle rap where I say GameCube is the sickest fucking console of the 6th generation of the... No, he said it wrong. We're supposed to go... GameCube is the best of the motherfucking consoles of the 6th generation of the motherfucking consoles. GameCube is the console of the... GameCube is the best of the motherfucking consoles of the 6th generation of the motherfucking consoles. Yeah, it was like a weird freestyle that I did at Blind Skywatcher's house with her friend. Fucking, I don't remember what that dude's name was, but he was a cool dude. His artist name was Uncle Jesse, so I just remember him as Uncle Jesse. But we did this weird mixtape. Oh yeah, you have to dodge that with perfect timing. It'll make you enter witch time. That lets you cross the lake. Because you can walk on water. This is it's a really weird... It's really that lightning bolt. You gotta dodge it with perfect timing. Every time you activate this, it like timers, and then that's when the thing... Or if you press the Y button, it just activates instantly. There you go. I remember being very confused with just cross the water, dude. Just go for it.
Just waiting for the bridge to appear or something.
It's bad conveyance. It's very.
What do I do? Where do I go?
GameCube is GOAT games of all time. Agreed. Super Monkey Ball is the shit. I guess I'm gonna find out soon because that's what I have to play after Luigi's Mansion.
I don't know, dude. I'm all about that PS2.
I love the PS2. I think it has a huge catalog of incredible games.
Imagine trying to play that in 100 years. Impossible.
But the PS2 had a much bigger problem with like
being great,
like ludicrous amounts of shitty games that came out on it, and B, like the fact that so many games were trying to copy each other. Like it was much more genre driven than the GameCube, which had a lot more like games that were not like anything else, you know.
Is this a budget game?
I mean, it's platinum, so I don't think it would so much be a budget seem that way if they didn't try to put so much story in the game. Like, there's tons of regular, like, animated cutscenes. There's just also tons of these cutscenes. There's just
they don't bother me. It's just very odd. It's an odd choice because they're not stills.
Right.
They're like, they're just like, we don't have enough animators. Like, we spent so much time like putting in all the femdom pseudo porn. No one had time to actually animate the story that we were telling.
Are either of you on Mastodon or Plemora or GNU Social? I don't know what any of that shit is.
There's a GNU Social? That's fucking weird. Also, I made a Mastodon, but I've not used it yet.
What the hell is a Mastodon?
It's like a blockchain version of Twitter, essentially.
Oh. That was a no thank you asking that, by the way. No thank you seems to be like a pioneer into every kind of underground social hangout there is.
I mean,
because he had linked me, he was like, oh, I can show you cool places on the internet, and he sends me like this ocean of links, and they're all to like what, to my eyes, were just 4chan variants. Like, just a bunch of 4chan variants. And I was like, oh, that's right. The only thing people do on the internet is just talk to each other. And, like, I don't want to go talk to other people. I just want to have a curated list of art for me to consume, you know? I don't want to dig through... I don't want to go... I don't want to have to go... what's the phrase I'm looking for? Crate diving. I just want someone to feed me good stuff. To not have to look for it. Would you stop it with the Nubian music? What Nubian? What the fuck are you talking about? Tom, if you're getting stuck on a game like fucking Bayonetta, then you're just shit at games. No, that part is really weird and confusing. That shit confused me the first time I played it too. And I've seen other people get.
Sure, you can say that I got stuck on that part in Bayonetta for a second. And you're right. I also beat Shinobi, so suck my cock, you fat.
Oh, God. Mastodon is not blockchain, it's just decentralized.
No. I haven't looked into it too much. Blockchain has been like so fucking corporatized and like people trying to make money off it. I just see those buzzwords and I assume there's blockchain somewhere involved.
What social media platform are fan artists going to now that Tumblr is dead? Is everyone just on Twitter?
Twitter is the big one. Newgrounds has a bit of a resurgence right now. Pillow Fort's making a push because it's basically a Tumblr clone, but it's in paid beta right now, which seems like the worst possible idea in the history of ideas to me.
Yeah. Unless they're just trying to have like a really curated fucking crowd that's in there.
I don't know what I'm doing right now. Fucking good.
Tom, I explained this like 5 times on Market How Do Discord. Market How Do has a Discord.
We do.
Doesn't that show have like less than 100 viewers?
Yeah. Still have Discord.
How many people are in the Discord?
I don't know actually. Now look. It's about the quality.
It kind of upsets me to think that everything needs to have a Discord now.
Why?
Because like why does every piece of like content need to have involvement from the audience?
Because that is what the market demands. Do you understand? Like,
why does the market demand this?
Because passive content is old and nobody cares about it.
But I like it.
Digi, I don't know if you've realized this, but you have boomer taste.
Oh no!
Mister, I use a desktop only. Laptops are not a thing that I care about. Phones don't make any sense to me. Meanwhile, over 50%, well over 50% of internet usage is now phone only.
I have a Bluetooth keyboard. What do I need a fucking phone for? Like, I understand why May is on her phone, because she goes over to the computer and then she's like, I'm sick of sitting at the computer, I'll come over to the couch. And then she's at the couch and it's like, well, I can't use my computer from the couch, so let me use my phone. That makes sense. But I have a Bluetooth keyboard, so I can just use my computer from the couch or from anywhere in the room. And so, to me, it's like, I have no need for a phone, ever.
The reason is that people use apps on phones. They don't go to websites.
I mean, I know. It's not like I never use my phone. If I am trapped somewhere, I use my phone the way other people do, you know? Like, if I'm at a restaurant by myself and I'm waiting for my food to come, I'm gonna sit there and read all of Twitter and Instagram.
Right, but people use apps besides Twitter and Instagram that you can't get on their computer.
Like what?
I don't know, like fucking normie shit, like TikTok and fucking crap. Alright, I'm gonna comment on this. Dude, that's pretty sick. Should have led with that, just saying. Oh god, why this time? Gigatons. I'm in gigatons now, dude. 400 gigatons.
Desktop/laptop is the last free space. Supporting smartphone platforms is a sin, punishable by peer shame online. I'm with you, dude.
They're all bad. Did you know what I found out? I was watching this video, and they talked about tracking data from Android versus iPhones. There's literally 400, there's like 50 times more tracking data sent from Android than iPhone. And then the really fucked up thing to me was that Google somehow has made it so that they can legally buy credit card information.
Mm-hmm.
So they know the location, amounts, what you purchased, and the name attached to it of every credit card purchase in the country.
Who does?
Google.
Oh.
So every time you've used a credit or debit card, Google knows what you're buying. Because it's attached to your name. And this is legal.
That's great.
So I am 100% convinced that Google is the worst company in the world and should be just destroyed.
I'm glad someone's on my side. I mean, I've been believing this for a long time based on merely the feeling I had after they killed... This is all about them killing Google Reader.
Well...
I'll never forgive them for killing Google Reader and making Google Plus suck because they advertised
Google
wrong.
Plus is dying. I don't know if you heard about it. They're shutting it down.
They fucked it up.
They leaked account information for 52 million users, so they had to push up the date like 3 months.
Get fucked, Google.
Yeah.
Alright,
catching on that Google is not good.
Yeah.
They're like in a lot of trouble right now because they
What the fuck is this?
all their employers shit and like pick people based on political parties and stuff, so there's like a big trial today.
No.
People are pretty.
So, No Thank You says that Tom asked where people are going now that Tumblr died. Well, Mastodon is one of those places. Sex workers are obviously hit hard by Cesta/Fosta, and since Mastodon is federated, decentralized floss, a lot have gone to sex work specific Mastodon instances.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I wouldn't care if internet sex worked away. Like, I don't.
Dude, we got a hashtag thought audit. Have you heard about the thought audit?
Yeah, they talk about it a lot on the Dick Show.
Of course they do.
I think they even had the guy who made it on there. They had one of the guys who made it.
That would not surprise me in the slightest.
Yeah. He ended up being like he loved the idea of the thing, but he ended up being critical of the guy himself because they were sending the stuff to PayPal as well. Like they were getting the girls like PayPal's deleted and shit. And he was like, I'm not okay with that. He's like, it's funny when it's just the IRS. It's not funny when you're getting people's money fucked away.
Yeah, that's true. I don't want to dodge comments. I guess I'm an idiot. I guess I'm getting hit by a lot of shit. I haven't figured out this pattern.
No, thank you. Says, all this being said, I don't think Mastodon is that great. It's just a step in the right direction.
Well, everything's been a step in the right direction.
I mean, it's like every time we try to take a step too far in the right direction, it's like it doesn't work yet.
I have no idea what the fuck is going on. I'm just getting fucking steamrolled.
Use more dodge.
I mean, I am. I'm dodging, and my iframes aren't iframes on this guy, I guess. I'm dead. No, not dead. Should be dead. Don't understand what's happening.
I think that if you do perfect dodges on like any attack, basically, then it has like huge benefits.
Well, I just got fucking raped.
Yeah. Digi, what have your favorite YouTube videos been this year? That fucking Super Bunny Hop did a fucking video on Soul Calibur, just breaking down like the lore, like how the lore compares to the real history of the world from that era. That one was pretty fucking good. I don't know if that's my favorite of the year or anything, but I'd have to like really look at a list of what came out this year.
There's a lot of videos to go through.
Yeah. Emp Lemon, I think, had some really solid videos this year. Oh, I'm sure Jesse had some really solid videos like Sound Criminals. I don't know. I'd have to look at a list of what came out this year. It's been like, it has been slim pickings for the last while. Like YouTube is it seems like every week I have less to watch. And when something good does come out, it's like I really cherish it now. Like, I realize that, like, there's a lot of YouTube history where I didn't give enough props to the guys who were doing things really amazing because I was just taking it for granted that there would always be great shit to watch on YouTube, you know? And, like, now that there's not great shit to watch, it's like when a video comes out that I really feel like, wow, that was fun, you know? Then it's like, it's really gratifying. Did I hear a weird noise from over there? What the hell is that?
The controller vibrating, probably.
Oh. Weird.
I don't know how to dodge that middle part. Damn it.
Lemon Tart Count says, I Am Games is so nice for listening to. It's never really boring. Interesting conversations.
Well, we try our best.
Explain thought on it. In brief, it's that these guys figured out that like lots of girls on Instagram were like taking money for various things, like sending lewd pictures or just like asking for like free stuff and just like generally getting money from their Instagram audience, but they don't pay taxes on any of it. So these guys figured out that they could make this bot that basically gets them to admit to doing something that would like to offering a service that would require them to be taxed for offering that service, and then telling them that they've sent a report to the IRS for this about this offer, so that they'll be audited, on the hope that they will be audited. Which it's it's important to remind people because, like, you know, we're in a scary tax situation on the internet where, like, lots of shit just isn't taken care of automatically the way it would be with a more proper business. And so, like, there's just tons of under-the-table money that can easily go unreported, you know?
Something's happening right now. I entered the gates of hell, which I'm assuming is the shop. Well, he has like powers too. Fucking sick. I want to play as him. Is he a playable character? Is there like a new game plus mode where I can play as that guy?
What?
I want to play as this dude.
I don't think you can play as it. Did he, like, go into hell?
I guess so. Whoa, I got shotguns? Somehow?
I did see that Monkey got a bunch of false strikes and his channel might be deleted. I'm not really surprised. I feel like, as someone whose videos mostly go out of their way to offend at least someone, like, you're kind of, you know, you probably should be expecting that you're going to have people coming at you like that, like trying to get you taken off.
Yeah, that's some good shit.
Not to say that I, you know, don't feel for the guy. Sucks. Sucks to have your shit taken down by people who don't understand, but it is not surprising. I think decentralization is the future in online communities. All big companies are fucking up their own platforms with dumb decisions. It seems to me that these few companies had luck to harvest everyone when they began to use the internet, and now people are just expecting more. The only way to deliver more and adapt quickly is open source social communities. Sadly, I have no friends or internet to develop any of that, but I'd bet good money it's in the prevalence in the next decade. I think so too. I think the more people know how to program, the less we have to rely on other people to program us places to go, you know? I think that like in Homestuck, the main characters all use a chat API that was literally developed by one of the kids. Like, Dave Strider, I believe, built the program Pester Chum so that him and his friends could talk on it. And so, like, the only members of that client are those 4 kids. And, like, I think that represents something that we'll be seeing in the future of communication. Where, like, we're already at a point where kids know how to set up their own, like, servers and shit to play with just their friends and not have to rely on anyone else to build servers for them. So, like, I think there's a good chance that, you know, if we have more young people learning how to code and they want to build their own little private communities, they won't rely so much on social media to do things for them. Right, exactly. Does Tom enjoy Bayonetta so far?
Yeah, it's good. Still getting used to the controls. But, good shit.
Yeah, you're towards the back end of what would have been the original demo. pretty sure there was a demo of this game like a while, I don't know, maybe a few weeks before it came out. So I remember Donson playing it because he was super fucking hype about this game.
Decky Kamiya game.
Yeah. He was a little bit ahead of the curve on caring about like who made a game. Because that's more, I feel like creator worship has always been a thing among nerds, but it's become like much more of a thing in the internet age where a lot of those people are online. Like,
yeah, again,
like Hideki Kamiya has such a legendary presence on the internet. What was that? Notice Me Senpai. Yeah, that's a big part of it too. I mean, that's kind of the thing about Hideki Kamiya is that he punishes that, because like his reputation is that he blocks people constantly on Twitter, often for just like messaging him at all. It's pretty funny. But he'll sometimes unblock people if they beg for forgiveness.
How do you see them beg for forgiveness?
I don't know. I mean, there's lots of... The funny thing about being blocked on social media is that it doesn't do anything because it's so easy to circumnavigate. It's like, oh, you blocked me? Let me just open your profile in incognito. You can't really block somebody, you know?
Yeah.
It's really stupid.
It's such a weird addition to the game. Oh no, I don't have enough points. I want to
Have you guys played any of the Ninja Gaiden games? Are you interested in playing them? You ever played any Ninja Gaiden?
I've beaten Ninja Gaiden 1.
For the Xbox.
Yep.
Not the original Ninja Gaiden.
No, I do have Ninja Gaiden 1 and 2 though. I can't like save these. I want my HP buff. This sucks.
Yeah, you have literally NES cartridges.
I do.
That's fucking wild. I would love to play NES on one of these streams one day, but I don't feel as though the novelty of that really translates as well as it used to.
NES is kind of passe.
Yeah.
Playing Sega Mega Drive, now that's real shit. Right?
Nah, man, you gotta break out the turbo graphics. Or like a fucking...
Dude, I'm gonna get my Neo
Amiga.
Geo Pocket Color. That's what we need.
An Atari Jaguar. When will there be an anime that has the same sort of cultural phenomenon that Star Wars has? Never. I mean, define the same sort of cultural phenomenon. Like, are we just talking about being as popular as Star Wars? Dragon Ball Z is pretty fucking popular.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we're there.
Yeah. Dragon Ball Z might be...
I mean, DBZ might not affect the same, like have the same effect on the same kind of people, but I think the scale is comparable.
Right, especially because it's very global. I mean, I don't know, Star Wars
They're like premiering the Broly movie, and like Jax Blade got invited to go to the like premiere, like the world premiere, like, American premiere. That he's going there on their dime, going to Vegas, wherever the fuck it is.
Who invited him?
I don't know.
On what basis?
Probably Funimation. He has ties with all those guys. They love him.
That's fucking... Dude, it's really weird that Jax Blade is not considered like a part of AnyTube.
It's because he's buff and not as nerdy as he needs to be, I guess.
I don't think he just talks to anybody else. Like, he knows me, but I don't think he, like, has talked to any of the other guys who consider themselves AnyTubers.
He doesn't care about analysis. He just is like, he's like not an anime analysis boy.
That doesn't matter. Nobody is except for me. Like, most of the people... Like, I've met most of those guys, and a lot of them are very interested in the idea of, like, perpetuating this sense of community. But, like, none of them seems to have heard of Jax Blade, or else they probably would have reached out to him. Because he's, like, arguably one of the biggest AnyTubers if you choose to think of him that way.
Sure, but I mean,
But
like,
you should.
His content isn't, like, examining shows. It's about making workout routines based on anime.
still though, I mean, he watches so much anime.
I mean,
and like he has to, he does analyze the anime in doing what he's doing. You know, he's analyzing like.
I just think
what
because the fucking hardcore otaku guys mostly don't care about workouts. So when they see a workout routine, they're not gonna watch it.
But you've forgotten your destiny.
That's probably true.
But nah, he knows his trivia and shit. He's good. He also is fucking loaded as shit.
I do seem to be having trouble remembering things of late.
He makes like workout programs and they sell hundreds of thousands of dollars. So he is rich AF.
Two overseers, the eyes of the world.
Hey Digi, do you know where I can find gameplay of A Hat in Time that I'm sure DeVille was playing with the PCP? I asked the PCP Discord and got ghosted.
What the fuck? DeVille was playing Hat in Time? When?
I don't think so. I think he's thinking of Nate. Nate did a stream of A Hat in Time back when it came out, and I was on it. Like, I remember being in the call with Nate for a while, and maybe someone else. I don't remember Devu being there. I do remember Devu talking about A Hat in Time. Like, as... I don't think he was interested in playing it, though. Like, I think he had been before it came out, but then when he saw the finished product, he wasn't interested. I could be remembering wrong, though.
Will you face me in this hallowed arena? Well, if I must. But I pray you've got a little something for me in return. You know, I'm very fond of stuffed animals.
Something's happening.
Oh. Couldn't understand this question. He said, how would you feel about making a Digibro con? I think he means like a convention. Like a Digibro convention.
Like a rad con.
Would it just be that like a bunch of people gather in a room with me and I just talk non-stop for like 3 days? Is that what a Digibro con would be? I feel like I could do that. I could entertain for a few days. What if I fucking did... What if I had like a convention where it was like, come to my house, pay me like $70, and like for like between these hours for 3 days, you could just sit in my living room and I will talk to like you know, however many people show up for 6 hours a day.
That seems ripe for abuse.
And like, how many people would I need to have to justify it? Like, I would probably want to like rent out a space, like a party space, you know,
Sure.
like a space that grad parties are held, and like just, you know, fill the room and talk about anime in front of a fucking projector. Do live Let's Plays. Have guest appearances of you and fucking whoever else is around. Zen Huxtable.
This is very confusing to follow.
I don't feel like this would even be impossible to do. I mean, there is Rowdy Fucker's Cop Killers Con. Somehow has already happened like 3 times, I think.
Yeah.
How do they do that?
They asked.
I mean, the first time it was like a Kickstarter, but they didn't do that every time, right?
No, I think it's just Bungie comes to Boston and something happens.
It's just like whoever can afford to be there at the time that he happens to be there.
Yeah.
But there are people who come from like far away for that shit.
Cults, man. They're powerful. Okay, now I'm here. Can I do the witch walks out? Yeah, that's the gist. That's the idea.
Bill Marine Shade says I'd pay $100. I legitimately think this would be a successful idea. Like, now that I've really given it thought, I'm like, as long as I could get like 100 people, it would be worth it. But like, the hardest thing would be finding enough people who'd be willing to travel, because like people would only be willing to travel if it seemed like it was going to be really hilarious and really well thought out. So like there'd have to be some really, like, it would have to be legitimately cool. But if it was legitimately cool, like if it was legitimately well planned out and like seemed like it would be a fun time, I think I could round up 100 people, because a lot of people live around here. Like, I have tons of fans in Massachusetts, in Boston, and people who live in the area who would probably just think this seems hilarious and want to go, even if they weren't, like, a huge fan. But, like, because I'd advertise it, you know, on the main channel. Like, I'd be like, yeah, this is a real thing. And if I was charging, like, $100, I think there'd be 100 people who'd be willing to throw down for that. So that'd be, like, 10 grand. I don't know what it would cost to rent out the space for however many days, you know, but like, I don't know if I have enough pull to make that possible, unless I made it like seriously fucking badass, but I don't know how I could make it so badass, you know?
Hey, I don't know.
It would be a big plan. I definitely wouldn't do it anytime soon. But maybe in like a year's time, if especially if we do, if PCPHQ works out and we are like famous as a group entity, absolutely PCPCon would be in the fucking cards.
I wanted to shoot that one that was glowing, but it gives me an eye.
Did you? There is a place in London called Speaker's Corner where anyone can just come in and stand on and talk to the masses. Many people throughout history have spoken, like Karl Marx, Lenin, George Orwell, etc. I feel like you would love it. Maybe I would. Spellhar says, I would legitimately travel from Brazil to watch a Jesse stand-up comedy night. This is one of the few reasons I would ever go to another country, especially the US. Hey man, if I could organize that, like, I could have Jesse as a guest at DigiBroCon to do a stand-up set, I would absolutely try to make that a thing. There'd be a Jesse stand-up set. There'd be like a live, like, hippo let's play or something.
What the fuck? Oh, right, these fuckers.
Everybody's just talking about my con now.
What the fuck?
You have to unleash your temporal witch power.
I did!
Well, you didn't do it right.
This is like the opposite of fun, guys.
You don't have to activate it immediately. You can wait down that 10-second timer.
That's probably why I fucked up.
Oh, you did it anyway.
Fuck that asshole.
Sacred streets.
Run over it after the show.
No Thank You says, I host No Thank You Con, but it's just me, my Dakimakura, and a bottle of vodka. Sounds like a good con to me. I've been to worse.
Okay.
Maybe you could pull off that Neon Genesis Evangelion reenactment at that Digicon. I would pay for that. Did I say something about reenacting Neon Genesis at some point?
I don't know, but I wouldn't put it past you.
Maybe I just said like I'd seen it so many times I could reenact it or something. If DigiBroCon becomes a thing, would you be able to introduce me to weed there? I doubt I could organize, like, I don't know. I doubt the venue would allow me to have weed, but like, I guess if you met me outside, like, we could smoke the weeds. I don't know how many people I want to share weed with.
You gotta charge extra for that, dude.
Yeah.
What's going on right now?
Jalen Harris says, me on IM Games when? Never. There's never going to be anybody on IM Games, ever.
Fate brought us here together, and we'll never tear us apart.
Since you don't like all other anime YouTubers' content, what do you think about having an apprentice? I mean, I would probably take on an apprentice if somebody was like, I don't know, if that seemed appropriate. I've had various people who framed themselves as sort of my understudy throughout time. Even Devu was a little bit like that for a little while, though he was more independent and like, he's you know, completely moved on into his own thing, doing his game and shit, so he's not really into doing analysis videos or anything that I could advise him on. But like, I've had various people over the years who like wanted to be my sort of apprentice, but it's like, if you're good enough to make it, you'll work on your own without needing somebody to help like motivate you, because a lot of those kids who want you to like be their mentor, they just want someone to tell them that they're doing okay and they should keep doing it, you know? And then like, when they eventually realize how much work they have to put in to really succeed, they usually give up.
Stop that!
I'm not your pet. The name is Luke.
What's the legal age you can smoke weed in Boston? Because if it's 18, I'm there. I mean, I guess you could probably smoke it at 18, but you can't buy it until 21, I don't think.
Damn it! Wait!
What is happening?
Just run away from me like
Dude, I told you, the fucking story is incomprehensible in this game.
This guy's like a cuck or something? Got cucked by Bayonetta, treating him like a pet? I don't understand. What the fuck is happening? Oh, we're gonna get explained now?
Tom, what do you do besides this in your game? PCP?
Yeah. And I'm on the Procrastinators podcast.
Oh boy.
Literally 5 minutes before we did this, I was working on the game. Added some new animations. Felt good.
Dropping acid and crashing DigiBronyCon so that you can finally understand the Utena movie. Sounds about right. How many stocks does Tommy Gunn own?
It's the same smell that clung to the
That was spicy sauce.
Stocks?
Yeah. You own any stocks?
No.
on your doorstep.
Not smart enough.
I'll let you in on a little secret, Cheshire.
The name is Luke.
Alright, I'm gonna finally go get myself a Coke. I've got an hour and a half without a drink and my
You
mouth
should
is
get me something. Whether it's water or Coke, I don't care.
getting me water. I want to do it.
Whoa. This is a weird ass game. Oh, get fucked. Damn, I just realized I have like no HP left. My HP is not restoring. Very cool. Probably shouldn't have wasted on this guy, but that's fine. see.
Oh, I'm gayer than God. I heard a subscription. That was the infamous Alk with a tier 3 sub. Hell
Oh
yeah.
my god!
In the fucking building with the fucking money bags.
Feels good. I have like no HP. Is there a way to heal in this game? Because my HP has not been restoring in
I think
between
you have healing
rounds.
items.
Oh. How do I open
Like
the menu?
DMC.
That's not it.
Item. R button.
Oh, there's other shoulder buttons, right?
Oh, you got tons of fucking shit.
What the fuck is this? What am I looking
You
at?
combine shit, dude. You're combining it.
Okay.
Combine stuff. You hold it. You hold it down. Hold it till it goes to the end of the cone and you'll level up, I think.
Oh, I don't think I have enough, I guess. Well, fuck you too. What a boner killer. Okay. I guess I'll just die.
No, you should have something else. What was that heart thing?
Where?
Go back. You had 2 items. You have a heart thing. What is that?
Matchless stone, these pieces are high. Oh, I need.
Extends your maximum health bar.
These are just bullets.
Well,
I guess I'm gonna die. Cool.
as someone who has deep mental health issues and is heavy drug user, you would know if weed made you worse, dude. You always can figure out this stuff. I don't know who he was responding to somebody, but I don't know what the conversation was.
Sounds pretty well.
Best PCP musician? Probably Hippo. I mean, if we're talking about like being able to actually
no, I'm not.
play music.
What the fuck just happened? Oh, you fucking faggot. God damn it.
Like, Hippo can legitimately play guitar. Nate can play like 4 chords, and Nate can sing fairly well. I think he's trained on some level. Jesse can play like 8 chords, and can sing pretty good and rap really well. I can sing pretty okay and rap pretty well. I can also produce music, but it sounds like fuck. So, that's really good. Depends on your taste. Tom can sing extremely well, because he's just naturally gifted. It has an interesting voice. Who else? Who else does music in the PCP? Does Ben? Ben doesn't do any music. Ben only listens to Avril Lavigne.
I respect.
And like
Wrong
Nightcore.
guy. I'm gonna get the big guy.
And in the aeroplane over the sea.
That last hit is very fucking satisfying. Damn, these don't fuck around, these fucking weapons. Okay. Dude, there's a lot to keep track of in this game. Yeah, put the big guy out. Good fuck, asshole. Yeah, that's what it's sick. You're fucked. Oh! Alright. Shit feels good.
How do you produce your songs? What's the process like? Really depends on the song. Like, if we're talking about songs that I did the actual, like, made the actual beat, usually I just start by creating, like, a drum loop out of, like, just the basic sounds that are in FL Studio, and then later changing them. So, like, I just build a loop that I think I like the rhythm of, and then, like, find what sounds I want it to be comprised of. And then from there, I add in something over the loop to serve as, like, the atmospheric noise in the track. And then eventually add my vocals. But like what approach I take to what is the atmospheric part of the track can
No,
vary
you
wildly.
fuck.
But if we're talking about like the style on say 10 Gallons of Fuck, like most of the songs on there were like, yeah, create a tight drum loop and then put something over it. Whereas other times I use sampled drum loops, like in the last two songs that I made, where I made the beat, was fucking Tunneling and 7.4 Million. And in the case of Tunneling, I went online and just like found like a someone's weird drum loop and then someone else's weird bass line, and I just, you know, combined them and added in like a sample of the opening notes of a Portugal the Man song and like just looped all that, and it sounded pretty okay.
You can't escape me forever.
Trivia: once a girl asked what instruments I could play. I said I can play with my dick at best. She said I'd want to see that. We had very awkward sex once and never talked about it again. You have been lost
with your playing.
You've been listening to erotic stories from real men. When are we getting a tier 3 emote? Tom, we gotta fix the emotes. I need you to do it because I can't make
you have to explain to me what it means.
All it is you go into the Twitch dashboard, and there's a section that says like affiliate and partner settings, and one of those will just say emotes, and there will be one emote for each tier. It's for the tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, but you have to create three images for it at different pixel size. It's like a 12 pixel version, a 32 pixel version, and a 120 pixel version, or something like that.
Okay.
And then you just set which tier you want each one to be for. So like right now we have the tier 1 is just the I Am Games logo, and tier 2 is the Big Cum emoji. We want Big Cum to be the first one. We want to get rid of the I Am Games one entirely and come up with a second and third one. Preferably things that would be like, I think that since Big Cum will be the first one, that's for if anything good happens. So obviously for if anything bad happens, we need some kind of Ninja Suffering emote.
Yeah, that's tough. Like, what would that even be?
I would just think like a crying ninja face, you know, like, because it would just be something that looks like the image for failure.
Do you ever feel like we fucked up?
Yes.
Like, Ninja Suffering was such a good meme, and we let it die.
We can revive Ninja Suffering.
I don't know. There was some authentic Ninja Suffering love, and we kind of just let it fizzle.
Yeah, well, the shirt didn't end up selling, so I think we just lost faith in it.
Dude, I put some work into that shirt, man.
Yeah.
Didn't matter.
No.
Did not matter for shit. Oh well. Live and learn. Hanging on the edge tomorrow. Speaking
we're
of which,
just too. The problem is we're too money focused, and it can't be helped because of the part of our career that we're at, where we're just like older and need money. So like everything is like lives and dies on like how profitable it is in a very immediate kind of way, which is not good for trying to build a cult-like following who, you know, is not invested in you because of your money situation. They want to just have good memes, you know. It's just hard to put out of mind. That's part of why I want to move so badly, because like living in this house just makes money so at the forefront of my mind because it costs so much to live here, you know, that it's always like, oh, I gotta make sure we're making enough, and like can't take too much time away from the things that make money, you know.
Yeah, I hear that. I mean, I'm cool with like just doing shit for the love. Like, I enjoy just hanging out and talking with people, whatever, that's cool. That's why I'm in the Discord all the time.
Digi, how lucky do you think finding someone so compatible with you like May was? Would you call it a once-in-a-lifetime chance, or something that's possible for most people? I would say pretty once-in-a-lifetime.
Considering who you are.
Considering who I am. Like, I think most people have much better odds than I do, because most people are not as out there fucking weird as I am. Not even that May is as out there weird as I am, just that she has the right personality type to deal with it, I guess. Like, a lot of things that she likes about me are the same things that other people distinctively don't like about me, you know?
Oh. This is when I wish I had some more HP. Shit's real, it's happening.
Digi, I used the I am games emote on Ben's stream and then got called out as not being enough of a Saint fan, leading me to subscribe to him, and now he posted Ben Saint heart in our chat.
Well, disgusting. Unacceptable. God, I cannot keep track of what is going on.
Time Jack says, when I was modding Smash 4, the extensions were .nut. So Smash 4 has a file called Bayonetta Torso.nut and shit like that.
It's pretty great. Not gonna lie.
Do you guys believe in love at first sight?
I believe it. Lust at first sight.
I mean, I think that I would say I believe in love at first sight, but that I wouldn't follow it without, like, confirmation, you know? Love at first sight's like a hypothesis.
God damn it! God damn it! This game fucks you good, dude. Holy shit.
GG, I work extremely... What was that?
I was gonna say, you gotta beat this game on one life, because, like, there's no HP regen at all.
Yeah.
Until you die.
Digi, I work extremely fast compared to most people with regards to music and video editing to a lesser degree. However, unlike with YouTube videos, being crazy prolific with album releases does not translate to growth. Currently, I deal with this by having a million different projects, but this feels like a waste since nothing gets particularly big. How do I make this work to my advantage? I know you also work very fast. Specifically, my goal as of now is growing audience, if that's useful info. Gotta make some meme hits, dude. You just gotta make some hits. At the end of the day, the only way people are going to pay attention to you is if you give them a big signpost that says, look at me, I'm cool. And, like, I mean, if you look at what every, like, off the beaten path band that's made it to the mainstream has done, like, usually they have the one song on the album that is clearly not as weird as the other shit, you know? Like, if you think of, like, the Mars Volta, like, most of their songs are, like, 16 minutes long, and then there's the one song that's 3.5 minutes and was on the radio, and it's the only reason anybody's heard of the band, you know? But, as long as you have one hit, you've got your hooks in them. Like, my mom is, like, the biggest System of a Down fan in the fucking universe, because she heard Chop Suey on the radio and was just like, what is this song? This sounds dope. Bought the album and was completely in love with it, you know, even though the song sounds nothing like most of the album, but it's the same type of music that she likes anyways. So yeah, just gotta make a hit and get big through your hit. And my recommendation is you just try to make the most hilarious music possible. You know you're not limited to 3 emotes, right? It seemed that way when I was in there, but... Do you think Punk is a good character design? Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. The reason I made a 3D model of him. Fucking sick. Piece of shit. What?
May is literally a god. If only she was around to hear it. I would have Mark give her the message, but Mark passed out. Tom, is this game as good as DMC?
I don't know yet. Haven't decided. It's pretty good.
It's a lot more diverse than DMC in ways good and bad. Where it's like a little bloated, but like it also has so much that is good.
I think the most difficult part, not even difficult, but like it's just it throws a lot at you, and that, I mean, clearly that was by design.
Yeah.
But
What difficulty are you on? Just
I'm sorry,
So know if you play Bayonetta on the highest difficulty, it's like utterly fucking insane. Like it changes the encounters considerably. It's never just like, oh, the enemies are stronger. It's like a whole different enemy layout that is designed to be just way more hard, you know?
I mean, that's what Devil May Cry, at least the original, did.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's also Hideki Kamiya. I would expect nothing less.
That's that shit that makes fans... That's the kind of shit that, like, I think critics only recently finally started to, like, catch on that they need to give props to. Bayonetta 2 got, like, a 10 out of 10 from GameSpot. And so did Demon's Souls, so, like... They kind of did their due diligence on those games, but, like... For so long, critics have fixated on the, like, one-time playthrough, when, like, the games that will go on to be thought of as classics are always the ones that are, like, have strong replay value, you know?
Yeah.
Have either of us played Dead Cells?
No, it looks cool though.
Yeah, I've heard good things about it, but like, I'm pretty sure it's got like roguelike elements.
Well,
I'm not such a huge fan of those.
Where's my sword? I want swords.
System of a Down are kind of bad. No, they're kind of good. They're kind of good. They got lots of good songs. They got dozens of good songs. Why don't you ask the kids at Tiananmen Square? Special the reason why they were there.
Huh.
They're so corny though, nigga. I don't need to hear this coming from someone who makes like fucking bit crushed noise beats.
Who said this?
No thank you. Jalen Harris says, what are the chances that a fan could join the PCP through the Munchie method? 0. The chances of anyone making it into the PCP is, like, basically non-existent. Digi, if a hotter and younger girl wanted to fuck you, then would you leave May for her? No. Spicy fucking salt.
Yeah, sounded like a spicy salts question.
No, thank you says, when my music is corny, it's for a meta reason. But to be fair, I still haven't figured out how to make this clear to the audience. Still working on it. Okay. And System of a Down isn't for any meta reason, though. it's not cool. Only irony is cool. Mimbe thinks this make your own fucking PCP. I like it. I'll start telling people that. Thoughts on Flash games? I've played a few. I've played some good Flash games.
Yeah, there's tons of good ones.
Like Endeavor. Or, I would say Meat Boy, but original Meat Boy kind of sucks. The original Flash version.
Fucked it up. Oh, these are gonna get annoying really quick. By get annoying, I mean they're already fucking annoying.
Ninja Jeff 50 says, you know, women and gays really disappoint me. Because you'd think someone like Virgil is what everyone finds attractive. But I guess they don't feel that way, which makes me not want to try to pursue women. Do women not think Virgil is hot? Women think Virgil is hot.
What are we talking about?
Why does he think that women don't think Virgil's hot?
Virgil?
Yeah, Virgil.
From what?
From Devil May Cry, I assume.
Oh. I know lots of chicks are into Virgil.
Yeah.
They're
Virgil's
chicks.
definitely popular with girls and gays.
Virgil's the hot one.
Yeah. There's plenty of gay dojins of Dante and Virgil fucking.
You read those a lot?
No. Thank you, Secret Anime Police, for WTF are these questions? Because people are asking like weird sex questions.
There was a whole huge like thing in the chat, either yesterday or earlier today, where it was just like, gay. Let's just talk about gay for like an hour. I was like, alright.
It's because of Sonic Fox. He's made it okay.
Just like her as a little kid, it's gonna be like a weird, like, oh, whoa, my brain.
Well, apparently Ninja is playing Final Fantasy 11.
Weird.
Yeah. And someone's bringing it up in our chat because they're like, what? And I'm like, why are you asking me why he's playing the game? I don't know that guy. Look at that guy.
I feel like this is gonna be a hard part. I got a sneaking suspicion. This part's gonna suck.
I think this is the part where you have to fight the witch lady on like the walls of the cathedral. Did that happen already?
I already did that.
Never mind. I guess I saw that and was reminded of it, and then forgot that it already happened.
So now I'm doing a fuck ton of damage.
Anyway, I don't think this game ever gets like.
Oh, I got hit? I thought that was a dodge. Why would you use the same effect?
I don't think this game ever gets too difficult because I beat it, and if I could beat it, then it couldn't have been that hard. I beat it in like a day and a half.
I'm not like
two.
It's not hard. It's just kind of annoying that like I don't start with full life in these encounters, so it just guarantees I'm gonna die at least once.
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
obnoxious.
And like that hurts my score, which makes everything harder. And it's just like, god dang. It's basically forcing me to do another playthrough because like I'm gonna get like D's on every mission just because like I'm playing it for the first time, so I'm getting fucked at every opportunity. What I'm saying is it's fucking gay.
Gay as shit. Rush Hour 3, gay as shit. Rush Hour 2, Gay shit. Rush Hour 1. Gay shit.
Oh my god, I keep getting hit. It's gonna take a long time. Naruto.
Jalen Harris asks, would you play Crash Insane Trilogy if I sent you $20 to play it? No.
Holy fucking god, ballsack. What is happening? Oh my god. Oh.
Whoa. That was a good reveal.
Wow. Something's happening. I can't really tell what now. There's way too much going on.
Non-stop climax.
I expected non-stop climax, not non-stop seizure. Alright, that was another dodge that did not work. Oh, I'm dead as fuck. We're gonna be here for a while.
There has to be healing items in this game. I think you can buy them from the guy at the shop.
Yeah, but like, I'd much rather buy new techniques. So like,
Right.
and the thing is, like, with those, like, the trigger games, and like the bullet games, you can't like stock up those to buy those items. You can buy items with bullets, but if you don't hit enough targets, you just have to exchange them for halos, and they're useless. The upgrade system in this game is worse than DMC, objectively and by a wide margin. What is going on? I'm not gonna bother hitting the rest on each time. Oh, fuck you.
What made Tom a rebel? Why is he a rebel pixel?
I don't know. No fitting with normal society.
You still going to the gym, Digi? No. I bought a treadmill for the house from Tom's sister, and May has been using it diligently. I have not used it once yet.
It's kind of what I expected.
I did, however, also buy a pull-up bar.
What?
And I have been
Fucking
using the
dodge.
pull-up bar. I have done as many as 2 pull-ups in one go. How many pull-ups have you done before, Tom?
I wonder if I can do pull-ups yet.
Have you ever done a pull-up before?
I've never successfully done a pull-up.
I've been able to do like 5 or 6 at the height of my abilities.
Granted, the only time I ever tried was when I was fat in gym class in high school, so...
Tom should have the materials for healing items by now. You have to craft them.
I didn't. I tried crafting stuff and I was short 1 on each one.
Have you possibly gotten more since then?
I have not.
That was like a while ago.
So, I think we might just have to stop the stream, because this is not going anywhere and I'm way too shit. You know what I don't like about this game either? Dodge does not cancel attack. So if you're in the middle of an attack animation, you cannot, can't dodge.
No dodge canceling?
None.
What?
It's pretty lame. What you can do is, like, if I punch and then dodge, I'll dodge as soon as the animation's done, but it doesn't stop the animation mid-combo. So, I'm getting hit a lot because I'm hitting the dodge button, but it's not doing shit. God, this is...
Alright, well, do you want to stop it now?
No, I want to beat this fucking faggot. At least, fucking bitch, faggot. Fuck.
Leaking fucking farts.
Yeah, okay, yeah, not happening this round. I already lost. Might as well just restart right now.
Man, I'm just thinking about how much I want to talk about the GameCube.
If I was gonna do a show like that, I would do a show called Blast Process, and all about Sega Genesis games.
Yeah, you'd pick the Genesis.
Yeah, and then I could use it to highlight my game.
I wish that I had grown up with the Saturn, just so I could be a Saturn guy, because the Saturn fascinates me, but like I don't have the bravery to actually go through with like becoming a Saturn expert, because I don't even know where to get my foot in the door. Whereas with the GameCube, I feel like I could become the guy who knows the GameCube very in and out, you know?
Well, my fun is diminishing significantly. I will say Devil May Cry is definitely better than this game as of this point. There's never a boss in Devil May Cry that's this gay. This is like that one section at the end of Devil May Cry where you have to deflect back those fireballs, but an entire boss fight instead of a little puzzle that takes 3 seconds. I think this part is in the game to teach you how to witch time better, because like clearly it's going to be integral later, so they just force you to like, you're going to keep dying until you can witch time perfectly, which I can't do yet because I'm terrible at timing in games. So we're like, I could honestly see myself because I'm so bad at timing games, we could be here for like the better part of 5 hours trying to do this until my timing gets right, because like I can't do it.
That's intense. You should craft yourself. Like, see if you can craft a healing item again.
I mean, it doesn't even matter. I'm not getting close enough damage-wise to waste the healing item at this point.
Yeah, that's true.
I haven't even got it down to half HP yet. It'd be a total waste.
Isn't the Saturn so complicated and obscure that there isn't even a real emulator? I don't know if it's like not considered a real one, but there is an emulator. I've played some Saturn emulation before.
What does it mean?
You fill up the meter and then you stir with the R stick to concoct.
What that means? It's something.
You made that. So if you combine different combinations of them, like it shows you on the right what combinations you can make. So if you use like 2 parts one thing, 1 part another thing, 2 parts the next thing.
I'll go back.
So you see that you're making a purple one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Weird.
I don't know what each one does though.
I don't know, they're just making random shit now.
I think the green ones are probably the healing ones, so I would just make like a 2-stick green one.
Items can be set to the direction of buttons. Candy can distract that increases one's awareness. So magic. Okay, that. Attack power. God damn it, I didn't even make anything anyway. I don't have enough to heal anything anymore, so I wasted all that. Awesome. Yeah, this sucks.
What, did you not actually have any healing items that you crafted?
Nope.
You still had enough green shit to make...
Did not.
You
did
have
like
enough
26
for
to make a healing item. I have 9. Keep dodging until something happens. Fucking, of course. Of course.
You gotta attack him a little more persistently.
No, because if I attack, I have to witch time perfectly and hit him when it's time slowed down. But I keep going too early or too late. So...
I feel like I didn't do that much witch timing when I beat this game.
Ah, oh my fucking god. This sucks ass.
Do you want to stop?
How long have
We're
we
at
going
203.
for? I can go a little more than 2 hours. What is gay? Almost as gay as this boss fight.
I'm just out of shit to talk about, and the chat has run completely out of steam.
We can turn it off if everybody sucks then. If everyone's sucking in chat as much as I'm sucking at this game, we can be done.
I think you just gotta fucking go at him, dude.
No, that's consistently getting me killed. It's all about the timing. That's what you gotta do. You keep doing that, because he doesn't do anything when you slow him down.
Right.
But if I start attacking, I just get hit by everything because I can't cancel out my animations and get hit. So this boss isn't to teach you how to perfect dodge, and I'm not a very astute student.
I can't believe there's no dodge. Did you read that thing in the menu that guy had told you to read about the dodge?
No. I have no idea how any of this menu stuff works.
Go into the menu real quick. There's a research dodge.
Ah,
Definitely fucked. Oh shit.
well, I have 1 pixel of HP and 75%. No, somehow that missed.
Alright, we gotta read about that thing.
Alright. This is embarrassing. I've died so many times, they're not even showing how many times I died anymore because they never considered anyone would die that many times. Okay. File. I don't know what any of this is. They're gonna have to tell me where it is because I don't know what I'm even looking for.
Go into... try that Tome of Umbrian Arts. Special techniques.
Dodge offset. To dodge while holding down the attack button, you can offset the current combo. And continue after dodge. Okay, well that does help. But I mean it doesn't really holding down an attack button. So it just keeps your combo going instead of resetting it. Okay. So like yeah. It's cool, but doesn't really help in the situation.
Yo, just hopping in from the Fortnite tourney, and when is Digi Merch coming? Digi Merch has kind of been soft launched in the form of my care packages that I'm going on my 2nd month with, but the first one had a somewhat tumultuous release. One guy's folder opened on him and the drive was not there when he got it. But
What the fuck was that mean?
like the envelope that I sent like opened in transit.
Oh, Jesus.
And the like some of the contents spilled out of it. But he was content with me just sending him the files that were supposed to be on the flash drive, and he was like, I'm just gonna stay at this tier anyway, so I'll end up with physical media eventually. But as for further Digi merch, I mean, you can always buy I Am Games merch if that counts. Are you still going to play Chrono Cross? Yeah, as far as I know.
We don't plan on stopping.
Although I don't think we did it last week because didn't we have like we couldn't make it work?
PS3 did not work. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the only reason we stopped.
Do you guys have Devil May Cry 3 or 4? You should stream more DMC. I believe we have them all.
We do.
We probably will do them all before DMC5, but I mean, they're pretty short games. There are 3 games. I can't choose which one to play. Kingdoms of Amalur: Reckoning, Batman: Arkham Asylum, DMC: Devil May Cry. Please help. I would say DMC: Devil May Cry, unironically, out of those 3 games, is probably the best. I've played some Kingdoms of Amalur. It's pretty generic. Just kind of feels like an MMO game, but for a single-player campaign.
Oh, God. This is impossible. How am I supposed to beat this? There's just so much. I do so little damage. This is nice. Oh, there we go. Well, I was doing good. Too bad I'm fucking shit!
Well, you want to finish up?
I'll do one more and we can be done with this travesty of a video game. Oh God, I'm already lost. I might as well just reset right now.
Besides DMC-ish games and platformers, what other types of games do you enjoy playing, Tom?
Action RPGs can be good. Fighting games, even though I'm fucking shit at them. Oh, come on, you fucking cunt! Games that aren't gay like this. Anything that doesn't have faggotry bullshit that's designed to just be more annoying than normal gameplay. Artificial challenge. Fucking shit. Hate this garbage. I'm gonna restrict the camera angle. I'm gonna make these gay little timer challenges. This is really fun, guys. It's not fun. It's never fun. It's always bad.
Tom, try and force yourself to cut it as close as possible every time you dodge an attack, every single time. That's how I taught myself to stop dodging too early.
That's what I'm trying to do, and that's getting me hit. So, the timing's not there yet.
Who is the most games that you guys know?
Either Ben or my friend Brendan. Really
Yeah, in my case, Donson and Ben. And Brandon Tolentino. Everyone's a fighting game.
Fuck! Fuck, fuck, fuck! Fuck this game, we're done. This is so fucking shit. No.
Alright.
Get me out of this hell's fucking scape. Literally the worst.
Let's fucking run away!
Like, this is so bad, I'm considering just, like, not even finishing the game. It's like, it's so annoying. It's not fun to do. Like,
Well,
there are some, like, when Devil May Cry, when you get your ass kicked, you're having fun. Like, because, like, when you fight the bosses, they're in, like, big open spaces. You have all your maneuver and normal things, like, available to you. It doesn't restrict you in any way. And it's just, like, a challenge of, like, everything you've learned up to this point. This boss fight is, like, you're in a tiny little room. You can't move the camera. Everything feels way different. And, like, we're restricting you artificially to inflate challenge. Worst game design ever. 0 out of 10.
You heard it here,
Hate
folks. Bayonetta sucks.
Doesn't suck. It's good. Just this particular encounter is poorly designed and not to my taste whatsoever.
Alright. Be the games you want to see.